Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some 22-2 Team Oddball gameplay. Oddball was never really a playlist I've been a particularly big fan of in terms of the Halo series. Although they added another dimension to it in this game with the throwing in it, which I think is really, really cool. Quite frankly, I just don't like the idea of, you know, if you're carrying the objective, you're kind of useless. I mean, I know you get the one-hit melee kill, but you have to be super close to that, and if you risk getting super close to someone, there's always the chance that you're going to get, like, stuck, or you're going to get ganged up on really quickly. It's not like it has a big lunge to it or anything like that. And I just don't really like the idea of, you know, players have no real incentive to go for the oddball other than winning the game. And, you know, obviously winning the game is a big part of it, but some players just don't necessarily care about it. And quite frankly, I am one of those... I'm not one of those players who doesn't matter about winning, but I need an incentive mid-game, because I enjoy too much the idea of just... being able to go for kills, and especially as when people are going for the oddball, they're just vulnerable to people like me who can sit on the side and just murder people. It's kind of cruel, but at the same time, as I'm giving no incentive and there's no like skill curve to using the oddball, it's not like there's a tactic you can work out for using the oddball in order to be able to farm kills or anything and do well with it. You're kind of just a sitting duck when it comes to it, realistically. Whereas I prefer the idea of, you know, capture the flag. You're given a pistol. You are given the one-hit melee kill, and it has a tiny bit more lunge than the oddball, and you'll also have this pistol that can pull off 5-shot kills very, very quickly. Quicker than the DMR. And although it has bloom in it, it's still a pretty cool weapon to be able to pull off kills with, and I think you can do quite well with it. So I love that they added that dynamic to the game. As much as people complain about, you know, the flag dropping being removed, what's the word for it? Flag juggling, sorry. Being removed, I still love the added dimension so much of being able to get kills with the flag. But what I wanted to talk about today, though, is the idea of us kind of being cheated out of a map pack. Now, and why I feel like another map pack should be put in the other game, although I know it won't because everyone is preparing for the next Halo 5 game, but it's something that gets me a little bit down. Now, at the beginning of this game, when it came to small maps on this game, all we really had a choice with was Adrift, Abandon, and Haven. Complex and Solace were arguably pretty darn big maps. Then you had Longbow, Exile, Ragnarok, Meltdown. I think that's all of the big maps. So we only had 3 small maps to go on, and that was a bit of a downer at the beginning of this game. And then when the news came out about the Crimson map pack coming out, you know, everyone was super excited. Oh, now we're going to be another dimension to the game. There's going to be more excitement. Pump back into this game. Maybe we'll see a really good small map being put into the mix. And we got 3 big maps, and it was a vast disappointment. The big maps weren't even particularly well engineered. They were much better done in the Castle map pack later on down the line, but in the Crimson, people were vastly disappointed. I mean, there were quite low numbers of people who decided to buy that game just as a standalone DLC, and the people who did, they rarely voted it. You know, in the beginning you got to play Crimson DLC, but apart from when that went away, when it did come up on voting screens, which was pretty rare, people didn't even vote for it, which was pretty depressing. Then, of course, the Monolith map pack came out, which did have small maps. You know, it had its skyline, although Monolith and Landfall, I mean, Landfall was kind of a small to medium map. Monolith was a medium to large map, I would argue. So once again, it felt like, I don't know, I could argue that those probably should have been all small maps, but I wasn't complaining because I got my small map, I got Skyline, it was a great map, and I wasn't complaining. But then Castle came out, 3 large maps once again, and it seems now that there is just an over-reliance on Forge World maps to pick up the slack. And although I much prefer the aesthetics of Forge World maps and can play them for longer periods of time without getting bored or frustrated from a Forge World map in comparison to Reach, I still feel cheated out of small maps, and I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out, just giving us all these different Forge World maps, but never giving us the actual default, you know, giving them their content-created maps, because it feels like they're just being a little bit lazy. They're allowing the community to pick up the slack for them, because they're working on Halo 5, and it just feels a little bit lazy to me, if I'm honest, because... I don't know, I don't like that idea, and quite frankly, when the 343 developers, you know, make their own map, they put their own soul to it, they put their own design twists, and they're building the map up from scratch, so there's always going to be a lot more depth to the map. Anyway, I have been Modest Major, I hope you guys see where I'm coming from, and I hope I'm not being too negative here, but yeah, peace out, thank you for watching.